Hello, 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 Shiny Happy People. This is Luke Parnell here, artist, game designer extraordinaire. So, this week we're going to look at a game I am developing, I designed and I'm developing called Red Sky at Dawn. That is a working title, but so far I kind of like it. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in and let's take a look at this game. Yeah, so this game is basically a card, uses cards as an action system. And the system is based on the Marvel United system, where you put cards around a circle and you do your action as well as the action of the card next to you. The difference for this one is if you put a card between, so each player has 6 cards. There's a move card, an attack slash base card, a base card, um, a tribute card. So the tribute cards are additional actions you can do. You put them on top of the your action card and you get to do 2 actions. There's a produce card. As you can see, there's colors around the circle, and basically you produce that color. So this game is the third game, so it's the third round. It's a 4 round game, and so this is the third round. And the map, I've made a lot of adjustments as I've been. This is my second playtest. I made a lot of changes from the first playtest to second playtest, and I've honestly made a lot of changes even since this. I just want to finish the game. There's a lot to it as far as so basically you're laying out bases, um, and it's an area control game. And at the end of the game, you score based on how many zones you control within. I'm calling them modules. Like there's 6 modules, the 6 different colored modules. That's how you produce it. And essentially, you have these ships that are going around putting down bases, but they can also attack the opponents. And so the battle is dice based, and it's just really simple. I want to keep the game at around an hour or less. And so the battle is really simple. You just simply have a dice. It goes from 7 down to 2, I believe. And the bases go as high as 5. So the bases are hidden, but they have different values. Like there's ones that are 1. Those are your starting bases. So at the beginning of the game, each player gets to lay out 3 single bases, and they have to be in different colors, and they can't be in the same zone as another player's. And then the new iteration, there's actually each module has 4 zones, 4 zones of 3 bases. So that's quite easy to put them in different bases and different colors. And I think I'm actually gonna. So right now I'm using dice as sort of the stand-in for ships. I'm calling them zeppelins. I've made up a whole backstory to the. I'll get to it later. Yeah, so essentially you play your cards. There's only 6 cards. Each player has the same card. I'm gonna make it a little bit more asymmetric in the next iteration because right now all the cards say. Because I found like in my first playtest I have an attack card, but in the beginning of the game you're not really attacking at all. You're just putting down bases, so you're establishing sort of your your little empire, your little factions, little empire. And so the attack card wasn't really being used, and so I decided to make that a slash attack slash base, but I'm going to switch that for each faction. So one faction will be attack slash base, one will be attack slash uh, move, attack slash produce, and attack slash tribute. And the reason for that is I just want to sort of give players a little bit of a different, make it asymmetric, but not too asymmetric, and sort of changes the way because you can sort of there's a lot of ways of looking at this. The move action can be quite powerful. Produce action, they can all be quite powerful. And so I've done a few, like I said, I've done a few playtests, and so far so good. The trouble is, there's a lot going on. Like there's the zone bonus cards, which every time you produce, you can, or basically at the beginning of the round, there's 6 bonus cards that are laid out for each zone or for each module. Sorry, I gotta switch that in my mind for each module. And so the first one produced in that color can take a card, and that card's a bonus. Those bonuses will have 3 actions that you choose from. So you either take an action, and it'll be like sort of like move to attack, um, uh, dice modifier, whatever. There's a few there, and also an end game contract. So bonus. So basically, it'll be like you have 3 three zones of different colors. You get this bonus, have a line of bases that goes five or more. You get this color, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So you get to choose sort of, and also the third option will be just to sell the card for like 5 copper. So the ring around the edge is the copper track, and copper is the money and the victory points. So basically, at the end of the game, the person with the highest on that track wins the game. But it's also what you spend to buy things. Like to lay a base, you have to spend to get a tribute card. You have to spend to after you attack someone, your ship automatically goes back to the center, and you have to pay 2 to get out, right? Because those are basically refueling, and rearming. And so right now I've got 2 zeppelins, which are dice, and one which is 5 hexes. And the hexes have different values on them that you have to roll over to take them down. And you get bonuses for each hex that you win. And it was supposed to just be stationary. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll make it move. You can move it, like use a base action to move it, maybe 2. And then because I'm playing this around by myself, like 4 players, there's a lot to it. So I couldn't really wrap my head around moving 2 different zeppelins around the board and then worrying about my base as well. So I thought, well, you know what, maybe this should only be 2. And then I thought, well, why not, instead of using dice, just use all hex tokens? Because they're bonuses, like when you win them in battle, you get to keep that as a bonus at the end of the game, like maybe 3 copper. So at the end of the game, you get an additional 3 copper added to your track. I'm saying the end of the game just because you can't spend them. And also so you could trade them later on as well. Or maybe not trade, I don't know. That's an idea. I don't know where that's going to go. But yeah, so I think I'm going to switch the dice to all the hexes. And so that way for bonus, like each round you unlock these things. So like basically the first round you get for free, and you get 1 zeppelin, you get 2 dice mitigation cards, and you get your 3 bases that you can lay out. Then the second round you unlock, which was the stationary bases at that time, and 1 dice mitigation card. And so the dice mitigation cards are becoming less and less valuable, to be honest, as I do go through iterations of the game. And the third one was going to be another second zeppelin, and then the fourth one would be 2 bonus bases, which were quite high in value. Well, high in defense. The value is always just 1, but high in defense. So, and that actually has worked out really well. I really like that because I was doing these playtests, and I'm just doing myself doing 4. I'm mostly just laying down bases, and so it's really become it's really one-dimensional playtest because I'm not really battling. I don't know. It's really weird, and I'm not really using the zone bonuses because I keep on forgetting. And because it's just a lot, so I think my next playtest I'm going to have to do 3-player, just so I can wrap my head around it a bit, around using other aspects of the game. But as far as like putting down the bases and so on and so forth, it's working quite well. And the bases are kind of like Stratego in a sense that they have different values, and also some of them are traps, some of them are they attack you once and then they go off the board, and so there's different values and stuff. So I really want to get into that aspect of the game. Yeah, so that's my second playtest, and I have some notes here. Yeah, so that's it for my notes. So this is basically just checking. I won't do another video until next week. I'm only doing these once a week, but I just wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. So yeah, like I said in my last video, I've been working out. I worked out again today, so things are going well as far as my workouts go. As far as eating, I decided after starting next week, I can start doing meal planning. So starting next week, basically, I'll start, buying my groceries on Sunday and doing meal prep for the whole week, and then just not worry about it all week. I did a little carving last week. I got to do more carving this week. Working on a small mask it was a commission I got quite a while back. I talked about this last week, but whatever. I'll talk about it again this week. Yeah, and so that's about it for all of that. Hello, yeah, so here is the new board. This is the digital version. I make these things on Procreate on my iPad. And so as you can see, this one has a back color. The one I printed out is just white background, just like the board you're seeing. And so yeah, I added the icons, and I also just reduced the amount of hexes in the game, so there's no more like black spaces between the various zones of the modules. And so it's the same amount of zones, and as you can see in the game you're watching, each zone has 4 hexes. So there's 3 different zones for each module, and so I moved that up to, so there's still 12, but there's only going to be 3 in each. So there's 4 different zones of 3 hexes each. And that's just for added competition between players, and also just to get the players moving around the board more. And so that's one of the adjustments I'm making before I do my next playtest with the new game. And so the board will be 18 inches around, and so that'll fit exactly 24 cards. Thank you for listening, and have a great week. Thank you for viewing my channel, and I hope you will continue to tune in. The old man once said, life is a journey, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. So this is me, stopping and looking around, because I have been missing it. These are a few of my socials. Please follow those and this channel as well. Thank you, and be well.